baby.
How are you?
Hi.
How
Look
you
at you
doing?
on the go, ready, looking beautiful.
Girl, we've decided as a family this was not our Independence Day, but it was going to be a day where we celebrated Black family, Black love, Black partnership, Black business, and everything else blackity, black, black, black.
Blackity, black, black, black.
Blackity, black, black, black. So that's exactly what we are doing. And, we are just on the move and having an amazing time. So I broke away really quickly from my husband and my kids because I wanted to make sure that I joined the live and gave all the good jewels and the good love to everyone on the live here.
I love it.
I think people are starting to join. You know, our people sometimes we're not always on time. It's only
right. Exactly.
So,
They be sliding on in here. We're going to let them slide in and let them get ready, because even though we're not celebrating Independence Day today, people got some Q going. People making some potato salad.
You know they are. You know they out there all day. Let me tell you, my girlfriends, they called like, we are going to the park. We're going to have a double dutch competition. I said, oh, that's how y'all want to do it today? I said, well, this is not my Independence Day, but it's always a great day to lose a few pounds and shed a few calories. So, I'll be on my live in a little bit, jumping double dutch. So, anybody out there know how to jump double dutch?
Listen, I can't wait.
None of the young people these days know anything. You looking real double-handed, honey.
You remember how I used to be like,
you looking double-handed.
You know what, Yandy? Look, I probably never really could double dutch the way I really wanted to, but in my mind, I was getting it. In my mind, I was on there like,
you had to face like.
Because it was really about the swag. It was about the swag that you had on double dutch.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because you saw everybody lining up. It's my turn. And it was like that, go. When the rope was going and you was getting ready to jump in.
You know what? That's the same way I am with dancing. Yandy don't got no dance moves. But what Yandy has is a mean face where you going to just think, I know what I'm doing at every party, at every event, at the barbecue when they put the music on. I just be like,
period.
And when you make that face,
Yandy,
honey,
go Yandy, go Yandy, go Yandy.
When you make that face, everybody know what that means. That means get out the way, something coming through.
Period. So let's jump into the conversation, okay? Our first question, because we're going to get into everything about glam and about race and about injustice and about family. But I first want to know, what drives your womanhood? Because when I see you, I just feel like, yes.
So, I think that women are absolutely the strongest, most miraculous creatures. And if we understand our power and we understand our worth, we can do some amazing, amazing things. The fact that we've been given the gift, some may look at it as a curse to bring life into this world. I think that shows you our strength. There's no other being besides the female woman in the human species that can give birth. No matter how you try to slice it, dice it, manipulate it, nobody else can do it. We are miracle workers. Miracles come from our womb. Then on the other side of that, nobody has endured the struggle. Nobody has had the resilience. No one has had the tenacity as the Black woman. Not only do we bring life into this world, we bring Black life into the world. That alone is a struggle in itself. And I think because of that, I walk around proud to be a woman. I walk around proud to be a Black woman because I understand the struggle my people have come from. I understand evolution and how my body and my blood is strong because of what we've endured.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean healthcare professionals that our cries are not real. That doesn't mean that we do not feel pain. That doesn't mean we have a higher tolerance. I just know the struggle that my people have gone through and survived to be here. So I am proud to be a Black woman.
Yeah. That reminds me of when we met and connected for real in Ghana. And I'm just thinking about, I had Nicole Parker on for our first episode, and we were talking about the power of just being on the continent and the power of feeling all of your womanness in that moment. Like when we stood in those slave dungeons, we knew that our ancestors were some of the most powerful creatures in this world and the planet, and our power, that power lives in us.
Yeah.
And so I see you walking in that all the time, every day,
Thank
using
you,
your
sis.
platform, just like loving your babies. You just really embody just like what so many young girls aspire to do and to become. And so I'm just
Thank
so
you
glad
so
you're
much.
here today, you know?
Thank you. You know, I'm out here trying to make it. I'm trying to do the best that I can do. That is it's not always easy being a working mama, holding it down. But you know, I know that I carry the struggle of many of you women on your back, on my backs. We in this together. We are in this together. In any way that I can help you guys, any way that, you know, my sister can help you guys, we are here. And I
Yeah.
know that this is a time of much healing. This is a time of much sacrifice. But ladies and gentlemen, don't get it confused. This is a very needed time of change. This is a very needed time of fighting. This is a very needed time of us walking straight, putting our back straight, our head held high, and saying, we're not taking this no more. It ends today.
Yeah. I was talking to a friend this week, Yandy, and he had said Black excellence is its own form of resistance, right? So just when we show up and we walk in rooms and we have our heads up high and we
Yep.
just know that this is going to happen, and even if you're not even on a big platform, but if you just are a mom getting up every day, like the same way my mama did and your mom
Yep.
did, and making way out of no way, that's already a form of resistance.
It is. It is. Absolutely. Because what they did to us 465 years ago was stripped us of all the knowledge, stripped us of our last names, our culture, our religion. And we had to fight to learn and fight to get it back. I mean, we still don't necessarily know our names, where we come from, what land we come from.
Yeah.
But slowly but surely, we are becoming the most vigilant, the most educated, you know, those that are really out here seeking for change. And it's the truth. Like, no one will be liberated. No one will find their true liberation until Black people are liberated. You know, once
Yeah.
that happens, every other nation will start to see their liberation, because there was so much taken from us and stolen from us. But we fought hard to you know, have our place here. We fought hard to try to learn about our culture. And I think, although this has been a hard 2019, 2020 has been a
Girl.
very tough and trying time for us,
Yes.
but we've learned so much. There are so many conversations that I'm having with my children that I never would have thought to have with my children. The Tuskegee Experiment, you know, what happened in Tulsa, Oklahoma, all of these things, you know, when our existence really started.
Yep.
And not just in the 1600s, you know, all of these are conversations that I would probably not have had with my 5-year-old or my 7-year-old,
Right.
you know? But it was needed. And these are the kind of conversations that we need to start teaching our children from early, so they grow up knowing how amazing and powerful and resilient their blood and their DNA is. Because there's so many factors out here that will break you down. From, you can't be the smartest one at your job. You can't be, you know, you can't get paid the most at that corporate office. You can't wear your hair like this or like that in that
Right.
corporate space. So many things that are part of our culture and a part of who we are, they tell us, no, that's not accepted, or no, you can't do that, or no, that's not allowed. And it's like, who gave you the right to still be masters 400 years later? You
That
know,
part.
and we got to celebrate 400 years together when we were in Ghana. But the thing is, sometimes I feel like we are still so enslaved, you know, with oppression, and the police now have become death sentences. It's crazy. I was in the park. You let me know if I talk too much, because I'll stop.
No, you fine, baby. Go ahead.
I was in the park the other day with my kids, and there was a police officer that was like manning the park. And I said, let's go say hello, you know, because I'm trying to teach them. They see so much hatred,
Yeah.
you know, towards and from the police department. So I said, let's go say hi. I remember when I was young, I always wanted to say hi to police officers and firefighters. My kids were like, no, let's actually leave. Let's leave the park. I'm like, why? Why do you want to leave? Because I don't know if we're supposed to be here. And if he's here, that means we're probably not supposed to be here. And it broke my heart, because I'm like, I pay you to take care of my children. I pay you to serve my children. I don't pay you to have my children living in fear.
Yeah.
My children are living in fear because of what they see. And as much as I try to protect them and shield them from, you know, watching CNN with me, or I don't let them have Instagram or any of that stuff, they hear it. They talk about it. You know, they're not even in schools where I can say that they're their teachers are talking about it, or the other students are talking about it. They're hearing it from, and as I talk about them, they are here back at the car. All right, guys.
Yeah.
I'm on a call.
Like, can I get a charger, please?
Here.
Mommy duties always call.
Always.
Where's the charger box?
Here.
Where's the charger box?
There's no charger box.
I love it. This is real life. This is real life, mommy. But Yandy, you were making such a good point there, and I don't want to forget it, because it's crazy, because as we are living in these times, we still have to raise our children. We don't want to raise our children to hate white people.
No.
Our kids go and live in diverse cities and neighborhoods, and we need them to be able to have this conversation, feel so comfortable with who they are, and not feel small about it.
Yep. And it's crazy, Amir.
But not fear the police.
I was just telling my friend that
hi,
we
baby.
were say hi, Amir.
Hi.
I was just telling her that we were at the park the other day, and I said, let's go say hi to the officer. And remember, we were at the park, and you said, and what did you say when I said, let's go say hi to the officer?
I want them to do anything to me.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Already that young. They already have that.
And I have to tell him that's not their role. Like, their role is to protect and serve and help us. That's what their role was supposed to be. But somewhere along the line, well, you know what? That's not even true. The truth of the matter is, their role was created to do exactly what they are doing.
Exactly.
Somewhere along the line it changed, and somewhere along the line there was a time when I know when I was growing up, I felt like they were, there to protect and serve. Yeah. But maybe that's because we didn't have Instagram. Maybe that's because we couldn't see all the craziness that was going on. But it was sad. It was so sad to hear him say, I want to leave. Let's leave right now. He finds his pleasure, his enjoyment from being in the park. Yeah. And when he said, I want to leave right now because I don't want them to do something to me. And I'm like, why? He said, if he's here, that means that we're doing something wrong. Yeah. And I'm like, you're just playing in the park.
Yeah. And that's the teachable moment, right? That's the moment where it really gets tapped into, like, our humanity and who we are. And Yandy, the woman that you are, you have that conversation. It's like this fine line of being a mom right now. It's like we want them to be informed and aware, but we don't want them to live in fear, and we don't want them to turn that into hate. And so I think just every time that we just continue to have the conversations, continue to tap into, how did that make you feel? You know what I mean? Yep. Let's go meet this person. Let's get their name. Because with the media putting out so many images that are true and accurate and real, we can't deny it. We still have to lean in to this uncomfortability. Like, it's uncomfortable. I know all of us, even when you go into different boardrooms and different spaces, I know, people I work with at my job and schools, white people are really, for the first time, starting to feel real uncomfortable, Yandy. And it's not our job to make them feel comfortable, but it's been a great place for us to start having these conversations. It is. And to start educating. And
the sad thing is, and which I hate about this whole cancel culture, is we now have a responsibility that we didn't sign up for. And a lot of us don't even, like, I've taken time to do this research. I've hung out with people like Tamika Mallory. I've been in the presence of the Honorable, Minister Farrakhan. I've gone to several rallies, several marches where I really wanted to understand the fight and the struggle of us. And there are some people that now have this pressure to walk into these rooms and be completely educated about Black history, Black people, and their role in it. So that when they say something like, oh, you acting like barbarians looting, and they don't even understand what comes with saying something like that, but now we cancel them because they said something offensive to our community where we're fighting for a reason. You understand
what I found on the car?
Okay, baby, thank you. Okay, tell Daddy it's time to go.
But can you read this?
Okay, I'll read it in 1 second.
Don't y'all love real life?
Okay, give me 1 second, baby. Let me finish this. So, I'm like trying to get me over Dad. Go see what Dad is doing. Close the door, baby. So it's like, I don't even, I lost my train of thought. But yes, okay, I'm back. So we put this responsibility on these people that never knew we were going to be here and don't have all of the education to back up the things they say or the things that they do. They just don't know. They don't know. And we are so quick to cancel. And I'm like, How dare we be the cancelers of our cancel? We've been canceled,
Right.
unfortunately. Here in America, our whole history has been canceled.
Yeah.
Everything we come from, everything we are was canceled. How does the cancel community cancel a person of their own community? How do you do that?
Yeah.
It's like sickening to me. You know, I saw it when they were doing it to Trina. I saw it when they were doing it to B. Simone. And I'm just like, come on. Like, who gives you the audacity?
Yeah.
Who gives you the audacity to cancel somebody when you've been canceled? You've been canceled here.
Yeah.
We go to work, our education is canceled. We work the hardest up the corporate ladder. You don't get the job in the corner office. You might be VP, but there's always an owner. There's always a board chair. There's always a CEO that's higher than you unless you own the company.
Yep.
You know,
that
it's
part.
Just like, how dare we go out there to say you are canceled? And we say all these hateful, horrible things about our people. Like, what?
Yeah. And that's why I wanted to create this show, Yandy. I wanted to bring diverse women together in just a place of sisterhood. I feel like we just something that's part of our like nature where we want to just hate on someone, where we can't say to another woman, Black, white, Asian, Latino, you're beautiful. I see you. I could walk in a store and I see someone and I'll say, I love your shirt. I love your outfit. That's Miss Tina always kind of teaches us and our girls to give those compliments and just to love on people. And I feel like if we connected more in this loving way and support people, because when I see you win, Yandy, it makes me feel like I can win. When I see you with your own skincare line, Yale, kit, I'm like, that's showing us that we can do it. And so I get nothing out of it to cancel you or to not share your post or to not pump you up or to not give you that hug. And people want to sit back and say, oh, I'm not going to clap when they win. I'm not going to clap when they win. And that's what they've been doing to us for years. They have been putting us against each other so that we could not rise and so that we could not shine. And
but you know what it is? Like we learned when we were in Ghana. This is all a setback from slavery where there was one little hole and they would throw one piece of bread down and we all had to fight to get that one piece of bread. Those things happened to us for 400 years. You know, maybe 3 of the slaves on the plantation got fed. The rest of them didn't. So they were fighting over those 3 pieces of bread. So now when I get space on the shelf in the store, we look at it as there's no more space for any other Black person on the shelf because, oh, Yandy got that spot. So what do? We tear Yandy down. We wanna say, you know, oh, Yandy got this scandal, or Yandy got that going on. Because we feel like if she got a spot, she's taking our spot. And it shouldn't be that way. Setback of slavery that we are constantly.
Hi, baby. Pretty girl.
Yeah, I told you, back.
Okay, well, give me 1 second. I know. All right, sit back, baby. Sit back.
Okay, Mom.
So, Yandy, thinking about that, what is the inspiration for your grind?
These little people back here. Those little people, they are my reasons why. They are when I'm tired, when I don't want to push you. Hold on 1 second. Hey guys, I'm on an gotta be
but she's pushing me. Look, and I'm trying to do something.
Mommy life. You know I know.
So you know it's. They gave me a reason why. But then,
driving the car?
Baby, you cannot yell right now.
It's just that she's driving the car.
So while I am trying to figure out how to make life greater for them, I realized that I have to make it greater for the community they live in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It might start with them, and that became my motivation. That became my reason for doing so many things I never thought about doing. My goal was I want to make money. I want to get rich. And then I'm going, you know, I'm gonna give back to my hood when I can. And that's just it. But my purpose, my goal, everything about me has changed once I brought children into this world, because I realized that it starts at a very elementary level. It starts with them in school. I got to be at the PTA meetings. I have to be there. I have to talk about, what are you guys teaching? What are you guys doing for Black History Month?
Right.
What are you teaching these children about Juneteenth?
Mom,
what
I have Black History cards.
I know you do, honey.
He knows it, girl.
So, you know, these are the things that I'm like, I have to be more involved in making this world a better place, because it's not just my children. It's the children that they're going to live with. You know, it's the children that they're going to play in the park with. It's the people they're going to go to college with. It's the parents when they go stay at their friends' houses that are not our same color, their parents have to know about our history and who we are. They have to understand this systemic oppression that they don't even realize they do.
Yeah.
They have to get it. Like, everyone has to get it. When you say certain things, when you do, I don't, we don't go to that area over there. I never, because I don't. No, stop having those conversations with kids because those are black neighborhoods. Even down to Ubers and Lyfts. If you ever notice, if you get in an Uber and you go to a predominantly black area, the rate is higher. It might be a shorter distance, but the rate is higher. Why? Because there are systems in place that believe when you come to a black community, you are going to be robbed, or they're going to run out on the bill, or they're having fake credit cards. Like, what?
Yeah.
There's so many things that perpetuate this opinion of black people.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important for us to re-educate. It's important for us to get involved, to not cancel our fellow brothers and sisters, but to teach them.
That's so real. That's so real. Yandy, let me ask you a question here, and this might be a push, because I love that. We are not canceling people. But there's times even in our community where we are really canceling all these Karens and white people. And I want people to understand that there's a difference of really calling out injustice and really wanting to educate people and bring them to the forefront.
Yep.
Without canceling them, because it's the same cycle over and over again. It's the same cycle. What do you think about that?
See, I think that we need to cancel the action. I think that we need to cancel the behavior.
Yep.
I think we need to cancel what has been accepted for so long, because when you say, there's a reason why Karen can say there's an African American man threatening my life, and it's like, oh, we gotta go. That's serious. Yeah. There's a difference when there's a police call that happens in Harlem and Grant Projects versus a police call that happens on Fifth Avenue in New York, right next door to Trump Towers. There's a difference in response time. There's a difference in, okay, this is serious. And those are the things that we have got to take a deeper look into. Why does that exist? Why does that exist?
Yeah.
Why have we allowed that? And those are the things that need to be dismantled. Those are the things that we need to break down and say, wait a minute, hold on, no more. And the way that's going to happen is if we recognize it, we call it out, and we tell people like, no, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen on our watch. You're going to be fired. You're going to be held accountable. We're going to protest in front of your apartment, your job. We're going to social media protest you. We're going to do everything we need to do until this bigotry and this ideology of who you think we are ends.
Yeah.
I think that is where we are right now. But there's so much more fight. And we've gotten, I think, to our breaking point as a people where we're just like,
we're done.
I have power for far too long. Now, one thing about those tables is the tables do turn.
Yeah.
And it's time for some turning of tables.
Absolutely.
It's time for some turning of tables. And that's
why this protest and this movement, it feels so different. It literally has woke up everyone. You had all countries, coming to the forefront for George Floyd. Breonna Taylor's name is still being thought of and spread and talked about in every room. And so this is just not, we weren't going to lay down and let this go. And I don't know if it was because people just had the time because we were in the middle of a pandemic, but there is I can feel this true awakening of this situation. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have it's just gotten to a breaking point. It's a boiling point. And with pressure, as much steam that piles up, eventually it's going to burst. And it's like, it was all within the same, 2-week period where, no, you can't go out there by yourself, honey. Okay, close the door. There's all a 2-week period where it was like Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd. And it was like constantly these things, like one thing happens and the next thing, then the next thing, then the next. And then everyone just started posting videos of their own, of different policing that was happening in their neighborhoods. And there was social, you took our money from us. We broke now. We got fired from our jobs. You got this pandemic that half of us are like, did you guys create this? Because you're talking about 5G, talking about Wuhan. Trump has been on a constant battle with China. It's like, is this all the powers that be? Then they're talking about population control. It's like, is this a way to get rid of some people? Like, there has been governmental stories that have been hidden up about there needs to be a big population control. We need to get rid of billions of people for this earth to survive. Is this another way? And guess who is taken out? Guess who's losing? Guess who's dying? That's not by accident. It's by design. You know, and I think at this point, Black people are starting to say, hold on one second.
They're like, hold up.
We broke because we're fired because we're the first ones to go.
Yeah.
You know, or we're essential workers where we're the first ones to get the disease, but we can't even heal ourselves because the stuff that you're pushing in our communities, the food you're pushing in our communities, is killing us too.
Yeah.
So, okay. So it's just like, how long? Let us in, close the door, baby. Come in. It's like, how long and how many times you want to tell us, oh no, we didn't mean this for you. Or, oh no, this is here. Go. Skyly. How many times? How many times you want us to be like, oh, this was my mistake. Oh, the Trustee Experiment, we weren't trying to kill you. We were just trying to find a cure. Oh, you know, when we were trying to figure out, you know, if hysterectomies work and we took your ovaries out with no anesthesia, we just wanted to be able to cure other Black. No. You pull the wool over our eyes for so long, and we were like, okay, all right. Okay, maybe the Trustee Experiment, you sacrifice these lives to save millions. Okay, I'm a believer.
Preach, Yandy.
All right, so you know, gave us hysterectomies to figure out if this could work, or you ripped our babies to see if they can survive. You did so many things to our newborns to see if this is going to our bodies. Okay, maybe you did that because you want to save so many other women's lives. And ongoing, we gave you passes because we thought that this was a gift that we were here in America to be in this free land. We thought that you guys freed us from slavery, so now we're good. You know, thank you.
Yeah.
And I think now we're finally realizing, like, wait a minute. This wasn't, we ain't want to be here.
Yeah.
It was stolen here. And then since we've been here, we ain't been free. Since we've been here, we're in jail. Since we've been here, we got the lowest paying jobs. Since we've been here, our communities ain't about nothing. And it's like, now the wool is being pulled from over our eyes. And I think this is the woke we've ever been.
Yeah. Yandy, how do we find hope? Because listen, like, you know how it was even to a point where I was going on social media and I was just feeling like the heaviness of it all. Or just like hearing you run that down, I had to hold myself back from just wanting to weep and wanting to cry. And so I'm like, how do we find hope in this? Where does the hope come from?
I think the hope comes from, looking in your children's eyes, looking in your family's eyes, and realizing that we have the opportunity to make the difference. Yeah. I think hope comes from when you see someone like a Tamika Mallory get up there and say freely, you taught us to loot. You looted from us.
Yeah.
And freely, we are calling people out. That is liberating. That is liberating, and to be able to say these things and really practice freedom of speech without being thrown in jail or thrown in shackles or hung. You know, that is, it's not 100% just because there are still our brothers and sisters out there that are being hung, but there is some liberating, there's some liberation in the fact that we can say these things, we can do these things, and we can demand change. Yeah. Every single time I hear of an officer, that practice police brutality, getting arrested or being called, being convicted or charges being brought against them, I'm like, finally, I don't feel free until everybody's free, but one person makes us a bit more freer. Yeah. You understand? Absolutely. And I find hope in knowing that we're changing. Yeah. I found hope in knowing that we are finally coming together, all races, all creeds, all ethnicities, all religions, saying no more. Yeah. No more. Black people matter. Their needs matter. Their health matters. Skylar. Shh.
Absolutely. Yandy, so many people. So many people in the comments are just resonating. I hear people saying like Black Power, and we have to stand up for ourselves. And really, the time is now. I always have a moment on the show when I think about, I was raised by my grandmother and my mom, and she's, back in my life, and I'm just so proud of who she is. But far too often, I feel like we don't pay enough homage and respect to our fathers, to Black fathers. And so, what do you think is the most powerful lesson that your father has taught you?
What is the most powerful lesson my father has taught me?
Yeah.
So my dad is the type of man that no matter what I do, he encourages me. He's so proud. He's so amazed by everything that I've been able to accomplish. Not that it's been a whole lot, but
Yeah.
when
It's a lot, girls.
I graduated high school, my father was the proudest one. When I
Yeah.
graduated Howard, my father was the proudest one. And I think constantly, we, my dad was an addict for a very long time, and I was a bit of an enabler because I was always the one that was like, Daddy, if I have money, I'm giving my dad money. If I,
Yeah.
I was always like, Dad, no matter what you do, you're my dad. I love you. And then
Yeah.
it got to a point where my mom was just like, I can't do this anymore, and she wound up leaving him.
Yeah.
And even in that, my father was always like, you just going to make me proud. I might not feel like I'm worth it, but you just going ahead and make me proud. And he always, even though sometimes, he was in rehab or wherever he was, he
Yeah.
always felt like I needed to know how proud he was. I never had my dad was breaking me down. I never had my dad didn't show me love or didn't protect me. My father always, forever and ever, was the person that, no matter what he was going through, was my biggest protector, my biggest encourager. Always was the person that, just completely held me down. So all that to say, my father taught me my worth from early on. My father taught me that I was to be honored. My father taught me that I was special. My father taught me no matter what I may have done, talking about him, no matter what mama may have done, no matter what grandma may have done, no matter what the forefathers that came before me. Amir, please, no matter what anybody has done, you are your own person and you're amazing. And that was important for me to understand because I demand that treatment from anybody I'm in a relationship with. I demand that treatment from anybody that I call friend, anybody that I call family. I demand you to treat me like I'm worthy, like I'm worth it.
Yeah.
And that was something that I learned from my father.
And I know that you always give back and love working with young girls. I work with young girls and Phoenix Angels, and I feel like if so many girls knew that they were worthy, that they were good enough, that they were beautiful, then we wouldn't have that haters. We wouldn't have the people, the jealousy, and all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yandy,
Hold on one second.
what would you tell your seventh grade self?
Hold on. Let me just say one thing. There's one person, because I haven't been able to read the comments, but Berlin Lane said, I hate seeing black women wear blonde hair. That's not our color. Let me explain something. In all countries in Africa that have every hair color, every eye color, every skin color, don't be misled to think we all look one way. Don't be misled to think we all have this one particular look that you think Africa looks like. Understand, Africa is not the image that you've seen for years put all over that, what is that, the T-Cref channel where starving babies and all. There are black people with blonde hair and blue eyes and brown skin. Don't get it twisted. Don't be uneducated and you say something that doesn't make sense. That's a lazy response. It's a lazy comment. Do your research. Now I'm gonna go back from reading comments because people are ignorant all the time, every day. But I just wanted to address that sister. Be careful, babe. I wanted to address that sister because that's not the truth. You are uneducated if you believe that. Now, I'm sorry. What was your question?
No, Yandy, I think that's good. I'm gonna come back to my question because I want to hit on this because I feel like so many times in the black community, if you don't have locks, then you ain't about the movement. If you got straight hair, then I don't love myself. And it's just part about being glam and loving the way that we are and being comfortable in the skin that we are in. But it's these things that are made to pick us apart. These things that are made to say, and I'm not to say that we haven't been schooled that blonde hair and blue eyes has been the most prettiest of all times. No, we've heard that, but it should not be that I'm looking at you and judging you based off of your hair or your race or your eyes or your skin or any of that to say whether you about the people or not, or you not black enough or you not, because that is ridiculous. So I'm glad you went ahead and addressed that because I was like, let's go.
That's right. Absolutely. And the thing about it is, we have to understand there has been so many things put in place, and I learned this again when I was in those slave dungeons, that have been put in place to divide us. So one of the things that they used to do in the slave dungeons, when they took us from our land, they would separate the women that they felt like were beautiful and light-skinned women, or even like the mixed breed because their mothers might have been raped. They would put them in a different slave, but they would be in a different slave holding cell or whatever, and that slave cell was where the masters would have their way with the women.
Right.
So all the time, the darker women, or the women that they deemed not so pretty, those women would be thinking, them light skinned girls is in the other cell, them light skinned, or those pretty ones is over there. You know how we get mad? We'd be like, she thinks she's cute. You know what? But guess what was happening in the other side? They were getting raped every day. They were getting raped. They were getting raped. We so busy saying, oh, she thinks she's cute. She in that other slave cell. But these are still the same way we think. We thought the grass was so greener because, oh, they in that other, the master separated them, put them over there. We don't know what's happening. We know we fighting for food. We know we fighting to breathe. We know we fighting to do whatever in this cell. We don't know what's happening over in that cell, but we hate them because of the unknown. We don't know what it's like in their world, right? So that's where all of this separatism comes from, where it's like, oh, she's light, she's dark. It came from slave time. It didn't matter. You were black, you were African, you were a slave. You were in one slave dungeon because you were this way. You were another slave dungeon, but you in the other slave dungeon, it might have been even more horrible.
Yeah.
They were getting raped every single day.
Yeah. And when it comes down to it, it's this universal experience of trauma, right? It's that if you sit in a room with women, and we put 4 different women together, 10 different women together, 100 different women together, everyone has their own piece of trauma. Yep. Maybe it might not be the rape, but maybe it'll be another form of abuse.
Absolutely.
And what we forget is, if we would just let people share their stories, here we say, own your story. If you could just share your story and own your story, I bet you would resonate with somebody. I bet you, Yandy, somebody on this thread, somebody who even said that comment, maybe had the same hurt that you may have had before, or even worse.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing is, it's not just us women. Our men have experienced trauma after trauma after trauma, just trying to raise black families, trying to raise black boys and girls. This society doesn't necessarily make it very easy. It doesn't. There's so much more glorification, hope, and future of riches that a drug dealer has than someone that works a 9 to 5. And we've been so brainwashed to think like this is the way. If I want to get true riches, because these are the only people we see driving the nice cars in our neighborhood, right? It's the black boys. So our boys grow up like, I want to go to school, I want to get my education, I want to do this, but I don't want to struggle like my daddy got to struggle.
Yeah.
I don't want to struggle like my mom was struggling. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a way for my family, so they ain't got to. If I gotta put my life at risk, I'm gonna do that because I want my family. I want my family to be better. I don't deserve to be free if I get locked up. But what I deserve is for my family to eat good. I deserve for my mother struggle every day, working, leave the house at 6 a.m. in the morning, come back at 8 o'clock at night, then gotta cook dinner, and only come home with pennies. No. My mother's not gonna live like that no more.
Yeah,
that's a struggle that our young men are tired of.
Yeah,
seeing their mother struggle, their father struggle to come home and still got holes in their sneakers.
Period.
Still under Section 8, and we got to live in slums.
Right.
So it's just like, it's not easy. It's not easy all the way around. And that's why I'm so here for this reparations conversation.
Right. Because it's old to us.
I'm here
for it. It's old to us. This country that people are celebrating Independence Day today, which we aren't, it was built on the tears, the blood, sweat, and tears of Black people and our ancestors, Yandy. And I don't want to miss that point you were just making about just our young boys, our young girls. I work in the inner city. Right on my school's block is, prostitution. It's gang violence. And our school is put there because we were trying to combat all of that. But it's real, Yandy. Coming to school, I see baby boys coming to school with holes in their shoes, and it's like, if you don't have the latest J's, then you're not popping. I've seen young girls who have to be the moms in their own households. And so, Yandy, thinking about that, what would you go back and tell your 7th grade self? if you could go back and look at Yandy in 7th grade, what would you tell her?
I would tell myself a couple things, right? So one of the things, which it's funny because I was just talking to my husband. We were in a sneaker store. Someone invited us to come to a store to get free sneakers to do like a video post. So we were there. And my son and my daughter, they're just sitting there, like, not caring about the sneakers, like, what's the latest thing. They just don't have an affection for that stuff because I've just never been into that stuff. I've never been into keeping up with the Joneses. I grew up po-po. Like, we didn't have it. My mother and my father always made me feel worthy. They always made me feel like whatever I had on was the best thing, you know. But I never grew up with the fly sneakers. I never grew up, you know, with the you know, all of that stuff. I just never had it. If I wasn't on a television show right now, I'm telling you, I would never get my hair done. I probably would never dress up. I still don't get my nails done. Barely, none of that stuff. But it's just like what I placed value on in 7th grade, what I remember anyway, what I think, I placed so much value on the relationships I had with those people that I felt like were my friends. And as much as I thought I was a leader, looking back now, I feel like I was such a people pleaser because I wanted to be accepted anyway. If it meant denying my happiness, if it meant giving all my last dollar to my friend, if it meant giving my last, you know, my food to the person that I thought was the coolest, that's what I would do. Now, today, I'm still that person, but I've learned how to channel it and understand, like, when I do it because I'm doing it for my community, or I do it because I have it to give, or I do it because I want to see something better and I want to teach somebody a lesson. Like, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to help you get your business started. I'm going to help you do this. I'm going to help you do that. But I don't want anything in return. You don't even have to be my friend. Before, it was, I want the love. I want the relationship. And I would tell myself, you don't have to do that. Because the minute you stop doing that, the minute you stop being a resource, the minute you stop providing, and they no longer need you, they are going to hope and wish you burn in hell. And that is something that I had to learn through relationships that I thought my bestest of friends. And I'm like, I'm gonna help you do this. I'm gonna help you do that. I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna put you on this show. I'm gonna do that, doing everything. And then when I decided, you know what, I gotta walk away because this is toxic. This ain't right. Now it's like, whoa. You're not fulfilling the need I needed you to fulfill. Hold on. Hold on.
We all been there. People in here are saying they've been there. I mean, this is resonating so much to me, Yandy, because, you know, I feel like even now you want to be liked, you want to be loved, because there's so much love in us that I just want to love on everybody. And that I think
but you have to learn. But you have to learn the lesson, and it's been a hard lesson for me to learn. You got to learn to love on the people that are either deserving of it, or the people that you are trying to teach love. But the main thing is you cannot expect anything in return. Sometimes you just got to give it freely, and then when you feel like I don't have any more to give, you have to walk away knowing that you have taken something from somebody that they feel like they need, but you did right. You did right by God. You did right by yourself. And you have to be okay with losing that relationship. You have to be okay with losing whatever morale you think you have with that person. You got to just be okay. Like, you know what? This is draining. I got to be okay. And at 7th grade, I look back, I felt like my 7th grade best friend was my best friend for life. I felt like the boy that I liked in 7th grade, the fact that he liked me back, this was the person I was going to marry. You know, it's like all of these relationships we valued so much. And it was the end all be all. And that led into high school for me as well. I look back now and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I really think that? Did I really cry that hard over that? Or was I really that surprised that she was talking about me, that this one, that one? You know, it is just like, now that I'm an adult, I can walk away. Like, oh yeah, this is toxic. I'm good. You hate me, you love me, you're indifferent about me. I'm blessed. My children love me. My husband love me. My circle of friends that I know got me, and it's a lot of them, they never going nowhere. There's so many people that come in and out for a season, and finally, at this space in my life, I'm okay with that. 7th grade, Yandy wasn't okay with everybody. She needed to be in everybody's circle, and I needed it for my survival. That's how I felt. And it could be because, you know, of whatever relationship was going on with me and my parents at the time, or my relationship with my dad. I felt like I needed the love of people desperately. And whatever I had to give away to get that, I was willing to give it away. But now it's just like, oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
It's now it's that you're worthy. Now it's like we know that.
Yep.
And if you and I'm not for everybody, right? People got different flavors. People may have different experiences. I may be too much for some people. Yandy, people may feel like Yandy is just so happy and so positive and so doing her own thing in her own bubble, minding her business. Why? And it's like that may not work for you.
Right.
And I just want to. I'm so happy that I'm in this place where maybe it's age, maybe it's when you hit that 36. You know, you just start feeling like I'm grown and I'm good. And I'm blessed. I love that you stamped that because so many young girls are lost.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
lost.
It's true.
Just trying to figure it out.
It's so
So talk
true.
to us a little bit about this new project you have coming up in East Orange. I want people to really hear about that because this is huge.
Oh my gosh. So many of you may not know, but I've been working in the school system now for about 2 years, actually in the schools where we have.
Your phone is breaking up a little bit, boo. Yeah, we lost you for a second, Yandy. I think you're back though, babe.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Uh-huh.
Okay, so through the company that I have, EGL Puts, it stands for EGL Partners Uplifting Our Daughters and Sons. We've always gone into youth organizations from Brothers and Sisters, My Brother's Keeper, a bunch of different organizations we've gone and done projects in. Just recently, like I said, as of the last 2 years, we've actually gotten physical contracts to go into elementary schools, junior high schools, and high schools, and we teach entrepreneurship, right? So even
Yeah.
as young as kindergarten, we go
Wow.
in and we teach what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to have ownership. And for the older children, like junior high school and high school, we actually bring in a bunch of professionals from entertainment because for whatever reason, babies love seeing people in their presence that are on TV or that they hear on the radio. So we use our leverage with entertainment to teach anything from graphic arts, web design, coding,
That's incredible.
photography, film and directing, hair and makeup, eyelash, nail tech.
Oh, love it.
Um, we had a class that taught about, I forgot what we called the class, but it was all about making clothes and from the factory level to actually getting in production. If you want to be a marketing professional, if you want to be someone that helps start business, if you want to be an account, we had someone come in from each of these. You know, we had one kid wanted to be a tattoo artist. He was in our graphic artist class, and we had Black Ink, Caesar from Black Ink, come in and do a whole presentation on creative drawing. He loved this one particular kid. This kid was a child that this was a school that was um, like an alternative school where it was
Yeah.
students that had bad truancy issues or were violent or had priors.
Yeah.
Caesar fell in love with this kid so much and his creativity. I told him, I said, listen, I'm going to bring someone from Black Ink in here to meet you one day. I promise
Yeah.
you, before this program is over. I said, I want you to be prepared. I want you to get your pictures, because he had pictures on Instagram. I said, get your pictures together. One day, bring them in. The very next time I taught once a week at this school. The very next time me and my team went into that school, he had a portfolio together, laminated pictures with business cards,
Come
priceless
on.
things. This
That's
is a
it.
kid that was on an ankle bracelet.
That's
This is a
it.
kid that society deemed he's never gonna be much, so we're gonna put him in this school and we're
Yeah.
gonna hope for the best with this one. He don't come to school anyway. Do you know this kid got an apprenticeship at Black Ink and it was on TV?
Thank you.
And it's
All
talking
he
about
needed
opening
was
his
the
own tattoo
exposure.
shop. But like these are the kind of, and I have a list of stories. I have another student that was in our film class that is doing some work with Yolanda Gerald, who is a director. She's worked with Missy Elliott, Dave, like worked with J. Cole, you name it, she's done the work.
Yeah.
But it's just like giving these students a chance. For some, formal education, Western education just isn't for everybody.
Right.
You know, I've never used calculus in my line of work.
Right.
I've never used
Yeah.
the word amphibia. I've never used the Darwin theory in my line of
Right.
business. But I do know what dollars and cents mean. I do know if I spend this much. I do know if I market my product. I do know what a brand means. I do know if I put this much dollars, this might be my return. I do understand what a return on investment means. I do know what stocks and bonds are. And those are the kind of things that sometimes the deliverer or the person saying it, there's a term for that, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah.
That thing matters to these kids. And if they see, Safari telling them, this is how, I don't just rap, I do creative writing, and this is where my creative writing process starts. Maybe that's the way that these kids could pass English.
Yep. Well, because it's knowing how to reach our kids. Someone said it here in the comments. It's understanding that we need a different vibe in our classrooms. Our students need to tap into what they're actually passionate about, learning their history, knowing the world, how they can use it. Our kids are smart. They like, I need to know how this gonna make sense. When I go in and I tell a kid why we're doing something and framing it and what they're gonna do after, they're like, okay, cool, I can dig it. I'll do it.
So a lot of the kids in one particular school, this school called West Side in Newark, a lot of them had truancy issues because 3 days out the week they had to go work. Then the other 3 days or the other 2 days or whatever, they were able to go to school. Right. But they had to take care of their siblings. They had to, pay for stuff in the house. It was a very low income neighborhood, and their parents needed their help. So they had to sacrifice going to school. But now we're giving you tangibles, right? You learned how to put you learned how to do graphic arts. So now you can go to school, make money. You can charge, the person that does weaves can charge for weaves, but then you can make her flyer for $100. Right. Now you don't have to miss school because you've learned graphic arts. You've learned how to use the computer. You can build a web page. Yeah. There's students now that charge $2,000 to build web pages. I paid one of them. I know.
That's it.
And these are the things that are going to equally lead to our liberation. As much as us being educated, it's us having ownership and us being able to be bosses in our own right. Yeah. And we have our own employees, and that can start at 8. Yeah. That can start at 15. And those are the type of messages that we need to be giving our children if they want true liberation. So fast forward, the program that I have in East Orange that you're asking me about is a summer youth program. And they have no summer youth because of COVID right now. But the mayor of East Orange decided to give us this program where we are going to run a summer youth program virally. These students are going to get paid to learn how to be business owners. Yeah, and at the end of that's incredible. If you are a business owner where you take heed to all that we're teaching, you go get incorporated, you start your business, you get a business plan, you do all of those different things. Now we will help finance your business. And this is, citywide. There's a lot of money in each of these cities that have to be spent in the summertime for school. Right. There's no summer school going on right now where there's actual physical building. They're doing some stuff virtually. Yeah. But it's money that has to be spent. So the mayor of East Orange decided to spend it on us because he's seen the work that we've done in Newark with so many other schools we work with in Newark. Yeah. So that is the program that we have going on in East Orange. So if you're out there, you're in East Orange, and your baby needs to work, they will have to come on the computer, log in, and we have graphic arts, we have coding, we have hair, makeup, we have beauty. Jonathan, who's one of my close friends from the show, he leads our makeup department. He teaches the babies how to do makeup. And this is going to be incredible, Yandy. Celebrity, professional, and then we have celebrities come in, and he does the work on celebrities, and the kids get to do the work on celebrities. And then they get to say, oh, my work was featured on Love and Hip Hop, or my work was featured on this show or on that show. These are some, and then we also have a program for battered women that we run, and we do that program in Newark. That's another one of our new programs. So we're teaching them hair, makeup, because for so long that has been kind of something that's held them back. Like, women that get battered, sometimes they have patches in their hair. Yeah. They learned how to fix their hair because of the patches, someone getting their weave ripped out. Or women have learned how to do their makeup because they're hiding black eyes and hiding bruises. So now your self-taught out of trauma has become your liberation. Now
Yeah.
you can go out and do hair and makeup, get paid for it because of your trauma. You have come through a victory, and you've come through a victor.
Yeah. Yandy, that's just so powerful and so necessary. I thank you so much.
Thank
This,
you.
I mean, we're almost at an hour. This conversation has been just so next level and powerful. We talked about race and justice, the motherland, womanhood. Or your babies were beautiful, and
Thank you.
now leaving this, what you're creating is just even a more of a legacy.
Do you see
Knocked
them
out.
sleeping? Knock out.
You're continuing to create this legacy, and I love you. I absolutely adore you.
I love you
I know
too.
everybody's in here been just vibing with us this whole time, and you just have so much power behind you, Yandy. And what I
Thank
love is, like, you say what you're gonna do and you back it up. You know what I mean? And you really are in it, and you really are doing it. And we need you, sis. We need
Thank
people
you
like
so
you,
much.
that
Thank you.
are
Well,
continuing
let
to
me
do
say
it.
really quickly before you get off and hang up on me that I love you, and I've got to witness firsthand your spirit, your personality, and all the work you do with our babies. Those babies loved you. They would not leave your side.
Oh,
And
thank you,
you have
Yandy.
such an important role. You have such an important job, and that is to raise them up. And you are doing an amazing job. You and Miss Tina Knowles are
Yeah.
amazing people, and the work you do with our youth, it's definitely building up your blessings in heaven. I know that you probably
Oh,
don't get thank you enough. I know that you probably
oh.
don't get pat on your back enough, but let me give you your accolades while you are here. Let me give you your flowers while you are here. If you're in the
Yandy.
comments, give her a round of applause. Give her a
Oh,
clap
you're my
because she is
baby.
raising up our babies, and that those are the real essential workers. Those are the people that are going to make a real difference in what this world looks like. They're going to be the people that really change the mindset of those coming behind us, and that's what's going to be the key to a world change and a world shift. People like you. So
Oh,
we have
Yandy.
to hold you up. We have to support you. We have to give you the tools you need to be great because you have a very, very, very important job. More important than anything that I can ever do because I cannot deal with even more than mine. Okay? I
Yandy.
go into the schools for 2 hours, 3 hours, and I come out. You are there all day long, every day.
All day, baby. All
I
day.
know. I
But
know.
thank you so much. You are amazing. We're going to keep watching what you're doing. People can go to your page to get more information about what you're doing in East Orange and support the amazing skincare because you came on here just flawless and just glowed
Thank
up
you.
and just together. I appreciate you
Thank
taking
you
the
so
time out
much.
of your Saturday to let us all know that 4th of July is canceled. This is not our holiday. And thank you for
That's
spending
right.
it with me, Andy.
That's right. All right. I love you. You
I
take
love you,
care.
baby.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.